me now, I ain't no holy individual, but I am righteous. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna steal from you, I'm not gonna cheat you. I'm gonna tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. That's it.
Yo,
Ecto 84 was good, my digger.
my bad, bro. What's good with it?
Yo, chilling. How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. How you?
You in the lab making some fire right now?
Man, I stay down here at it, man.
Right.
Stay active. Got to.
Yeah, no
It's
doubt.
good.
No doubt, man. Yo, first and foremost, where you from?
South Bend, bro. South Bend, Indiana. Out here in the middle.
Indiana, Midwest.
Yeah.
Oh, word. Yeah, I ain't even know that, man. I ain't know that. Word up, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Raised, bro.
All right, South Bend, Indiana. How far is that from like Gary?
Shit, we barely. That's like Chicago though. It's like an hour and a half, barely two.
Okay.
You know how to drive, right? All that shit close. Chicago mixed in with the shit mostly, but nah, it's South Bend though, bro. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
And what about Indianapolis?
That shit about close to 3, but like 2.5. You know what I'm saying? It's a little farther than Chicago, actually.
Right. True indeed.
We up north of the shit, so.
Right. So this beat making thing that you're doing, this greatness that you're doing, how did it start for you? Was you rhyming? Was you DJing? How that?
You mean like the process of when I started making beats?
Well, yeah, when did you start making beats? This whole hip hop?
Man, when it come down to that, I've been making beats since I was like 15, and I'll tell you right now, I'm like 33. So I started like early on, just like picking up around the guys I was with, seeing how Fruity Loop works and all that shit, like working on the big monitors back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I always fuck with the beats, and even I feel like back in my younger days, I had a little chance at trying to do this rap shit where me and my niggas was putting out tapes, cassette.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this shit for about 15 plus though, you know what I'm saying? As far as like growing up, getting through life, having kids, falling in and out of music. Between most of, I had my time when I was younger, I was always trying this shit, but it wasn't going nowhere, like putting this shit out, being active as you can, but not really getting nowhere.
Right.
So the day life hit and I kind of fell back, but then I can still say, if y'all seeing even how we talking today, I appreciate you even having me on the show. Like it's a blessing to even have anybody like tuning in and even check for this shit. So
yeah.
I can stay now where I'm at, kind of like really just catching on to seeing where music was at today, because I got to a point where I was falling off the scene completely. I just didn't even care. I was just listening to old school music, didn't even check for rap. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it had lost that source, but just between not knowing where to get your music from and where it was at, once I kind of tapped into the source and kind of caught the wave of what this man, I've been making these beats the same way I make them, sample based, the way you hear them, all these samples and shit. I've been making this shit like this forever. But it's like, I feel like in my general area, South Bend, as much as motherfuckers was fucking with them, they wasn't going nowhere. So that I kind of hear that my beats, shit that be similar like my beats out here somewhere. I just had to get into the market, and then that's where we at now. You know what I'm saying? Once I really caught on to what the culture was, and I gotta give credit to just really catching on the shit that was happening. Like I bullshit now, bro. I think the album that opened my eyes up was The Good Book from The Alchemist. You've been tapped into music, but as far as like I'm telling you, bro, I was so left side with just trying to follow the regular Dat Piff shit and listening to regular shit that was going on. You know what I'm saying? Music was losing me. And I didn't know to dig up YouTube and SoundCloud and look for niggas like that. So once I kind of caught wave of what was happening, bro, I dug into the structure and seeing motherfuckers was putting out physicals, cassettes, tapes, and this shit became like a thing. I'm like, bro, hell no, this is phenomenal. Like, I can't believe motherfuckers doing it like this. And I've been inspired to kind of get back in it since then. So between the 15 years plus that I got of experience of just fucking with the beats, now I even know where the market is at for them. And I feel like that's the best thing that even opened up for me. I've been doing this shit for a long time, bro. I just didn't know where to put them. I feel like I was just in the wrong market. So I found my target, and I feel like this is where we at now, and it's working. So I appreciate being here.
Absolutely. I'm glad you jumped on. So what's your weapon of choice?
What you mean with the on the machines?
Yes, sir.
I'm on the MPC. I'm on the Kai joint, the Black Studio.
I got the silver one.
Yeah. See, I'm on the black joint, and I'm gonna lie. When it came down to, even it's funny if we talk about that, my introduction to music, like one thing I feel like that always held me back. I was kind of scared of putting out my quality of shit, because I don't know if like as a producer, man, you kind of think like, man, does this shit sound good? Does this shit sound good? And you don't want to put out no trash. Then motherfuckers get to hate and stuff. I kind of always was iffy about my mixing and shit back then. And that's when I was even still just working on Fruity Loops and trying to master that program then. But by the time I got to releasing this shit, it was all based off Fruity Loops still. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have no machines. The only thing I really did have was what is the big MPC Akai joint where it got the keyboard on it.
Yeah.
And a little pad in the corner. Like I was really, that's when I kind of got back into the rhythm of it. Kind of, you know, it's different when you can feel the beats rather than clicking on these keys. If you the different programs, joints like that, like nah. So basically, I feel like from there, the tool I'm on right now, I still feel like it's brought another level of music out in me because I hear this shit now. I don't sound nothing like I used to, and I definitely give credit to the machine because it's a feel to it. You know what I'm saying? It's when you can feel that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? When you can play, you know what I'm talking about, bro. You
absolutely. Because you know I've always started with hardware. You know, I started with the MPC 2000 XL, and I've been on that for like 20 years. And I recently switched over to the MPC Studio, the silver joint, and the workflow is so much easier now.
Yeah.
You know, in beats and all of that, and I love it. I'm not going back.
Right.
I got MPC on my coffee table somewhere, the XL.
Hey, but I ain't gonna lie, I gotta get my hands on the XL. I gotta touch one of them big jizzes. No, bro, I gotta touch it. Gotta touch it.
Yeah, you do.
I ain't got the chance yet. I can't even stunt, but right now working with what I got, trying to get to where I'm going, you know.
And that's all it is. That's all it is. So you went from software to hardware, and you saw a difference because you feel like you're a part of the beat because you're banging and putting your body into it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Click
exactly what it is. You feel it,
you put your body into
it.
Man. And that's why I always dealt with hardware because I felt like I had to, my body nod, and you know, it's like you're putting a part of yourself into the beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's an extension of you.
And that's what's weird because that's, you know, since we're talking about it, the Fruity Loop shit is all automated. So it's like you can, I know how to map and make that shit perfect, but even then it's just something about having to click keys and click mouse instead of, you know what I'm saying, hitting that sound. Like, I mean, where we at right now? Hold on. Like I said, I'm down here playing now.
Oh, okay.
It's just a difference, bro. When you can actually keep playing with it, you know.
Feel it. Right. Yeah, so, you know, this is strictly for my diggers. So it's obviously that you're a digger. Now, are you digging online or you at these record stores or you doing both?
I mix, bro. I do a little bit of both.
Okay.
And you definitely got to give credit to the generation we in, man. It is easy to do YouTube. And on top of YouTube, one thing I've kind of discovered, man, when you go to the record store, you better look and see if that shit is on YouTube before you buy it. Because then what's the point?
Right.
You got to go to the crib, rip it, and the shit already on YouTube. So I got some crates I'm sitting on. I done got some rare digs that I get for parents and all that type of shit. You know, families that be holding on the records. And then some of the joints that probably done came out. I don't get them all out, but I still fuck with the records too. But biggest point of it all is the way the access is for this shit today. Man, YouTube is the easiest source ever. Like, and especially if anybody gonna knock it and say they don't, because I give credit to the people that got crates and walls full of rare records that they found on journeys. Like, bro, that shit is amazing. But for everybody that don't got access to move around, live like that, and grab all them records every time they somewhere, man, I grab what I could, get what I got, and use what I had. But then on the top of it, you want to keep putting out music, bro. The source is out there. Right. And I feel like when it comes down to YouTube samples, you can't never let nobody deter you from who did it first. You better dig through that song some more. Because it's probably like some of the shit I done did before. I heard it before, but I just picked a different part. And I still ain't heard nobody tell me where it came from, but it's the same shit. I done heard it before.
Yeah.
It's just part of music, man, how to use it. If you got an ear for it, you'll find it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you know, I just ran out of space, man. I can't, all them records, I mean, I can't hold them. You know what I mean? So I started digging and I found it much easier too.
Right.
And it's cost effective, you know, but when I was digging, I was always a dollar crate digger. I went to the dollar crates.
Right.
I was never one to spend like 20, 30, 40 to you know, astronomical prices on records.
Right.
So I feel what you're saying with the digging. Because that's true. You might be, before you buy that record, it might be online when you get the whole album and you can chop the whole album or whatever. So when you sample a song, right, are you spot sampling it, or you just taking the whole song and chopping through it?
Shit, actually different strokes, bro, depending on what that shit feel like. Because I feel like in certain ones, I chop it up to the point where you can't even tell what it's from.
Right.
But then you got them soul loops where I can't do nothing but let that part run. That's the shit that dragged me into it.
Right.
So it's really depending on how the record make me feel. That shit is never like a biased thing. I'm always different. I try to chop shit. I got heavy chop shit.
Right.
And then I got these smooth loops that motherfuckers want to hear when you just want to hear that melody running through. Depending on what that shit feel like, I just try to go with wherever it's taking me because it's all different for me. I try not to stay one way with nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm even trying to branch back into doing some of my R&B shit. You know what I'm saying? Like really doing original beats because I love samples. You know what I'm saying? And I still think the lane we in, I still think it's room for you to be however you want to be. You don't gotta just sample, but even then, I still feel like I've heard music so good it sound like it's sampled. You know what I'm saying? So I still feel like once you reach that level in yourself, it's definitely that's some of the people I'm aspiring to now. Right. But you know, even when it comes down to where I'm at with what I work with, you know, I love samples, bro. That's why, like I told you, all I did was listen to old school music. I grew up with that old soul, been around with my parents because they in their 70s and 60s. My parents ain't young, you know what I'm saying? So, and even right now, I tell you, my wife, all we do is listen to old school music. Like we got some of the new generation shit, but no, we got old souls. You know what I'm saying? I got a really better feel for the way music was back then. I hear this now, it ain't even got the same type of feel. You know, all this shit is repetitive. It feel the same, look the same, sound the same as far as what the industry is displaying to everybody. But back to where we have this underground source, I love how the creativity of being independent. Man, this is where shit starts from. If you be you enough, you'll make something into something. You know what I'm saying? So this is where I know I'm gonna get mine at. Like I clearly, if we can even talk about this, something stands out about it. And that's what I'm saying. I'm glad that people even tap in, even fuck with me at this point. Because it's been a while, man. I just didn't never know we'd get here where people actually be trying to see what's up with this, what's up with me.
Absolutely. You know what? You know who I have to give credit to? Pocket the Plug.
Yeah. Shouts out to Pocket, man.
Yeah, because that's how I think I heard about you.
Right.
A lot of other people. That's like he's the plug.
Them YouTube channels, man. Yeah, Pocket and definitely Pocket the one though. Like you said, big shouts out.
Sun Tzu.
A couple of them, we're gonna speak on that. Shouts out to Pocket.
Pocket the Plug, Sun Tzu, Calmly SMK.
Calmly Smoke, that's my guy too.
Yeah, Calmly, yeah, that's him. Yeah, so all those guys is who I find out and I give it, I give it a listen. That's how I found you, you know what I'm saying? So I had to reach out to you and chop it up with you because this is strictly for my diggers. So, this platform is all about putting the beat maker first. Right. You know what I mean? So it's a beat maker, it's made by a beat maker for beat makers. So, now people can put a face to the name. Ecto 84. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's what it's about. So when it comes to your drums, man, are you sampling drums off the vinyl or off the YouTube? Or you buying packs? How's that working?
I mix around with that shit too, because one thing I can say, man, you can definitely find some of the craziest shit as far as like them beginning drum riffs. Like some of them shits go crazy out here. And that's what I still know. I listen to this music enough, man. I feel like it's kind of being some of the shit getting used over and over again because you know where to find that riff at. And if you know how to throw it on that sample just like that, you don't even know you heard this shit before. Right, so when it comes down to that part that you asking, I definitely be trying to reach for my own drums as far as like getting packs, using the packs I've been holding on to still make these kicks hit. And even like I said, I love the whole boom bap flow. And that's why I still feel like come with the boom bap beat when it comes down with that, you know what I'm saying? That when it just bring you in like that. So I love the gritty drums, the dusty drums and all that. But I even know I do my best to kind of, if that's the only thing I'm really hearing, I got to do my best to not only be that. And that's the only thing I'm really getting to. It's like, I really hear it where no offense to any producer ever, because I ain't gonna lie, I really aspire the way people do it sometimes. I wish I can be that cold, to be honest. If I'm gonna get to it, I wish I was that cold at the dusty drums, you know what I'm saying? That boom bap shit, man, some of these, man, I gotta give everybody credit. Some of that shit sound nasty. Like, I'd be like, how they do it? I don't know how to find my shit, and I don't know how to use what I got. But like I said, I do my best to kind of use what I've been used to instead of trying to just formulate to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, I ain't been doing that. Like, I do it now more often than ever, just trying to catch the rhythms because I see that's where it's going. But even then, that kind of feel like I got to keep my originality in me. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I'm definitely doing my best to kind of reach out for packs. I look for new shit. And the main thing, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I'm digging through a lot of this shit I've been sitting on. I've been had crazy kicks. I've been had crazy snares.
Right.
I got thousands of these joints. I just run through, find new shit, put them together just like that. We running on the track.
Right.
So when you come out to it, you have your certain ones where you know you can go to them to make the shit start. So you know how a producer get, man. I feel like everybody gonna have their sound, they feel their rhythm.
Right.
Even I still feel like at some point, you know, going back in the early stage, you kind of feel like, I know at some point I used to always feel like it's my style repetitive. Like, do all this shit sound the same? But then even if you think about it, depending on how you wrote it, where the rhythm was, the tempo, what sample it was, nah, this shit ain't never the same.
Right.
As long as you did something different to it, it ain't the same song. So
you know what I find with drums, right? You know, some people like to tap out their own drum. Now I know with me, a lot of times I be feeling like I'm tapping out the same drum pattern. That's why a lot of times I do like to use drum loops or drum breaks.
Right.
That crazy because I'm not a drummer.
Right.
You know, but when you get them drum breaks or drum loops that's just rocking,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's what I know what you're saying, bro. And that's what I'm saying. That's just kind of got me into, like, I've been basically what we're even talking about right now is I'm trying to use more of them loops because I've been kind of digging into them more. Like, damn, I never even, like I said, bro, at some point I'm like, man, how do motherfuckers do it? But like you said, man, it's really just digging through them samples.
Right.
Some of them riffs and the rock songs and all that shit, some of the craziest drums you're gonna ever find.
Right.
When it come down to shit like that, I get it. But like you said, I still think right now, just where I'm at with it, definitely got to mix it around, do a little more than just one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to box myself in. That's the biggest thing I feel like as a producer. I love doing this shit, and I'm anti certain shit. When I talk about I ain't really with all the super trap rap, but I still like some of that shit too. You can't act like you don't like music.
Right.
Like some of the shit I still rock with. It's just I'm not out here to make a bunch of 808 heavy beats. Like I feel like your whole CD don't need to have 808 on it, and your whole CD don't need to be drumless either. So I'm kind of like in between, man. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like it should be a range of music. You know what I'm saying? Do all this shit. It's a different air everywhere.
Now, when it comes to making your beats, right? Your BPMs, what range do you usually stick with?
I'm around the 80s, usually like a 85, 86. Even bring it down to a 70 if the shit too low, like 76. And then I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I go the other way, end up at 140, 60. Because I even know one thing I say about the tempo, to me, I feel like that shit is kind of like, it's just a trickery damn near. Because it's the same, that 160 is almost the same thing as 80. So if you're gonna want to put the same rhythms on, just add more shit in it within the time and space you got.
Right.
So when I look at the tempos, it really, I ain't gonna lie, I even got shit where the way the sample running, the BPM's not even the same. Like the shit changing. But as long as you know how to jump back in, that's some of this odd shit I got out now. If anybody never heard, like, you know, some of the work that's been out before, I got like some awkward shit that I done put out, and I gotta call it awkward because the beats don't even, they had come in on some, how did he even catch the rap shit? And that's what's been the most interesting to me about some of the songs I got back. Like, bro, I didn't even think you would rap on that shit. But it's a whole song. You know what I'm saying? So when it come down to just testing just being as unorthodox as possible, just trying shit that I would have never thought I'd bring out of me. And then be like I said, some of the tracks I done brought back that and came back is shit that people actually fucking with. Because I can even go to specific tracks. I always think about, if you ever heard The Destructor, like the song I had, Lunar Eclipse with Lord Juco, bro, the beat is so slow. And this is what I'm saying, the beat itself is so slow, but the way he jumped on it still is crazy to even know that somebody can make a song like that make sense. Because most people approach that beat not even know how to rap on it.
Right.
But if we going back to the tempo of it, that shit wasn't even the same tempo all the way through. You know what I'm saying? So it be beats like that, bro. I'm definitely unorthodox with the style. I don't really stick with no one tempo. Wherever that sample got to go, that's where I'm gonna take it to. And really, like I said, depending on how I hear the sound coming, shit, I change the tempo up in the middle of the shit. Like the BPM to switch from different bar to bar, just because I know how to make it work. As long as that shit right. Another thing I do as a producer too, before I render, save, keep anything, I freestyle and I rap a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? I don't be doing nothing. I ain't really putting out music or nothing like that, but I just fuck around with the music. I've always freestyled. That's just part of being a beat maker. But I make sure I can rap to it, or I make sure I hear some type of flow in my head. Right. And no matter what flow it is or where it's coming from, as long as I hear it, like, no, if you know how to do it, you can do it. That's how I make sure they go.
Right. So when you turn the beat machine on, right? Do you set a tempo, or how do you figure out the tempo that you want to use?
That shit, the tempo don't come in until I get the sample, really.
Okay.
Like I said, once I find the sample, the way I'm running through it, I'm just going through, pushing through to find the parts I want. Then once I get that, once I bring it to the DAW, you know, once it's on the screen, at that point I pretty much make sure the tempo is riding out here to where I can keep adding the automations in once it makes sense. Start rocking with it. So it's pretty simple. To me, I feel like the way I got it figured out for myself, I make it easy. It don't really be hard to ever. Once I find the sample, that's all I need. The BPM starts for whatever sample is. So it's always based off what the sample is.
Got you. Now, you stacking your drums, your drum sounds? Are you stacking those kicks and snares to make them thicker?
Nah. I don't stack usually. If anything, I use a different drum in the midst of, like throw an 808 on top of the regular kick. But more than likely, no, I don't do the layers on them, because I ain't gonna lie. This is another thing I gotta give credit to the Akai on. Just the way this shit feel. That's one thing I noticed a difference in. When I was making my beats on Fruity Loops, you had to layer the drums. You had to basically, you even had these ways where you can just make the kicks more clear. You know what I'm saying? More crisp.
Right.
And on this joint, I already know the way they got the levels and this shit set up. I feel it. I hear the difference every time I even play an old Fruity Loop beat I made with the same drums that I use on a beat from here. You know what I'm saying? This machine makes the beats louder, and I can hear it. You know what I'm saying? So
the difference, right?
Yeah. With this machine, I don't have to layer. That's the biggest point.
Right.
Not me.
So when it comes to your process of making beats, it always starts with the sample or the drums?
It's always starts with the sample. I gotta find where my head gonna be at with it, because I still feel like some days I come down here and it don't matter what I'm going through. Sometimes the beat or the sample I find is just be exactly what I was feeling. Like, without looking for shit to explain what I'm feeling, it'll be a sample that's looping where this is how I was thinking in my head all day. So sometimes I feel like it's just, I really depend on how I feel. Sometimes you can just catch shit where it's like, no, that shit just nasty. You know, you get those where it's like, that shit'll wake you up. And it's just like, nah, I gotta do that now. Right. But then there's other days where I come down here dinner, I'll be honest, uninspired, whatever, good, bad day, whatever. Just fuck with the music. Then sometimes it be the shits where you find that thing talking to you, and by the time it's talking back, it's like, yeah, it's a beautiful process for me, man. Because I feel like it's therapeutic as hell. I know everybody probably say it, but music really do help. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm cornered, boxed in, I feel like none of this shit is right. Can't play the game, don't want to do shit with the fam. Just like really in a space where your head not there. This music bring me back, so I definitely appreciate it, because that's how I get through it though. It's just really depending on how I feel.
So when you with your beats, right? How many tracks are most of your beats?
You said how many tracks?
Yeah, how many tracks? You know, you have your kick, your snare. You know, that's if you're banging out a drum. How many tracks is roughly most of your?
Probably about. Well, once again, if we talking a loop, you can talk a dinner list in 3, 4, 5, unless I did a lot of mixes on the pads or whatever. But then it'd go 10, 12. But even on the normal shit, I ain't gonna lie, we probably not topping 10 or 12 still, because I kind of feel like, you know, where the basis of a beat build, you got your drum, you got your hats, you got your snares. You want to throw some open hats in there that kind of bring a little more light to it. The most you can do is add some more chimes, and even you can even one thing I even love is when I hear other people's shit where it's like, man, what made you think of that drum pad? I like hearing shit that ain't normal. Right. But even when it come down to getting a rhythm going, even if I done been stuck on a sample, where it's like, man, fuck, this sample hard, so let me just throw this shit on here. Then by the time you throw all the little hats, then it's like, okay, yeah, now I can work with it. Right. But when it comes down to it, I really do my best to try to even be unique as I can with some of my drum spacings. You know what I'm saying? Try not to use the regular steady hit. You know, try to use some shit where if they even listen and that shit hitting 2 times, then 3 times, then 1 time. But you would have to be paying that much attention to the beat to even notice the hat is weird. You know what I'm saying? So.
Gotcha. So, are you producing full time? This is what you do, or you know, is this part time as far as?
It's definitely part time, man. Because you know, I'm married, 4 kids in the house. We got life going on. So between the passion I got in it and trying to get with it and where I'm trying to get from it, yeah, I definitely hope this can be the full thing right now. But at this moment in time, you know, you got to keep with reality. Is you got a life and the roof to keep over your head. If this shit ain't, I ain't getting rich off this shit.
Right.
If anything, it's good to just even have my name known, so I even know where I'm at. I'm appreciative of my position in the music period, because I still feel like y'all could even not know me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about where the money at or how big I am off of it. It's just the fact that I even still know today, man. The fact that some people have even bought cassettes, bought vinyls, bought CDs. Somebody listens to this shit somewhere, it's in a playlist, bro. That is working. That helps.
Right.
Because I never would have thought the shit I make is gonna be actually listened to elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I'm here now, it's a blessing. Now, so I take that with all of it. But right now, no, it's definitely part time, man. I got way big shit going on. So if I don't pay the bill, the only thing I can do is do my best to work at it, keep on it, and stay as active as I can. But man, look, sometimes life get in the way.
So would you say, is the money consistent with this music, or it's sporadic?
I would call it real sporadic. Like, even when you say it's definitely sporadic. It ain't no other way to call it. It's sporadic as shit. And I still feel like as long as you got a bigger source of shit to put out, you can make your income faster.
Right.
But depending on where you at, where the funds going, and how you can put it back into it, that shit that quick, it don't always work like that. I ain't gonna lie, anything I done put out as a physical, anything y'all done say, man, I paid for that shit out the pocket.
Right.
And then they don't sell out. So I didn't make the money back that I paid into it, but it's just the fact to say I did it without having to need a record label or wanting to find a way to make somebody put. Nah, bro, that's one thing I even love. I just want to, if I know how to do it, I'm gonna make it happen.
Right.
And even if it costs me to go in the negative from it, I know that this shit, you're gonna lose more than you win till you lose enough. This is just part of the game.
Right.
I know where I'm at with it. No, I don't mind paying for nothing. And at this point, I've probably paid more than I made. But I even know with what I've made, as far as like people have bought beats, I have been paid for projects. I have been paid for, you know what I'm saying? Some of this work is actually paid. And then when you put out your own product, that's one thing about it. It might be after this interview, you know, somebody might buy a tape, bro. So I appreciate that. Just even once again, you giving me the time to talk with you, because it's shit like that happens, bro. It's been this tape, I put this out 2 years ago and people still buy one this year. So I know that shit means something to me. I don't care if they take the next 6 years to sell out. Right. Every dime I put into it, going eventually it's gonna be somewhere else beside my household.
Right.
And I still know if what I have in my head comes to fruition like I plan to, man, it's an investment. These tapes gonna be gold, because I ain't gonna ever put them back out again. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's definitely, I don't know how much people dig and look into investing in certain shit. But even if it's low and affordable, you believe or see anything in it, the potential of it, I always see it as, why not buy that shit while it's normal? You're gonna be mad when the same takes back out there and everybody charging $1,000 a piece because there was only 25 of them and ain't nobody selling them no more.
Right.
And that's how I really try to have the inspiration behind my stuff. This shit ever go like I wanted to go, man, these tapes I'm putting out, these records I'm putting out, all this shit gonna double, triple in value.
Right.
So I don't mind putting this money into it now. Somewhere it's gonna go where I'm trying to get it to.
Right. So these artists that you work with, did you reach out to them? Or did they come to you? Do you feel you should give out free beats to really get out there?
That's interesting. I think on that note, when it came down to how I got in, I ain't gonna lie, I definitely had to reach out. You know what I'm saying? You definitely gotta speak to and see if they want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing you kind of do, or I don't know, depending on where anybody that listened to this interview, where you at in the underground market at this shit, or even just music, period. But I didn't know it was kind of set up the way it was until I got in it. So just to kind of explain my side of it, when I came in, I just really came in showing genuine love to people I actually want to work with, because I know, like, you make dope music. So that's not even about your money. I want to work with you. I don't know if you're trying to charge me. I wasn't even trying to charge you. Do you want to do music together?
Right.
And even with certain people actually kind of responding early, like, I'll be honest, the day I created this page, some of the people I was following and wanting to work with, they kind of started following back instantly. So I didn't know if the shit was just kind of ironic because they just follow anybody, or they was actually paying attention. But at some point, by the time I put out the 4 beat tapes, you know, I'm not sure if you was deep in that part, but I came in with like a 4 beat tape intro, all building off the Ghostbusters story that led into my first EP, which was that tape I put out, The Structure.
Right.
But basically with that kind of intro, I ain't gonna lie, from Insomniac, shout out to Insomniac, shout out to Deeply Rooted Hip Hop. Yeah. Man, you had like the hip hop scene. I didn't even know it was buzzing like that down here. I just knew once I found this music on YouTube, like you said, I ain't gonna lie, just Calm Me Smoke was the main thing that kind of dragged me into looking for other artists.
Right.
I found people like K Burns, Lord Juco, and Mac and Fleet, Sinatra. Man, I was just listening like, man, where these niggas raw? I gotta get with the. Let's see if they gonna work with me.
Right.
Like I said, once I was hearing my type of style of beats, I'm like, yeah, nah, and they got it. So biggest thing I'm saying right now is when I came in, it was definitely more. It was a love off love thing. I ain't gonna lie, I really gotta shout out everybody on that Destructor tape. That was everybody showed me love, basically.
Right.
I still feel like some of them guys could have charged me for everything they did on there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But the Destructor came together off me actually making general ties with people that was fucking with me based off the strength of what I had going, just getting started and already being fans of their music. So I ain't gonna lie, I always think about that tape. That shit was amazing. I didn't think I could pull that off. So shout out to everybody on that tape, like Love Rock, Chuck and Lock, Lord Juco, Hayes, Mac P, Magno Garcia, Chuck Chan, Killer Cali, bro. That tape was nuts to me. I didn't ever think I'd be able to pull no shit off like that.
Right. So you just came in the game just straight on some love shit. Like, yo, let's just work.
Much,
I'm not worried about no bread. Let's just work.
And even right now, bro, it's still not about the money, to be honest. Now, it'd be nice to get paid, but I still feel like, man, if we got a genuine love for this shit and we know we can put something out and make money together, then let's just do that. Like, because I know how to put all this shit together too. If anybody want to fuck with me on music, I know how to get the cassettes done. We can get the videos done. I can get physical CDs, finals, everything that everybody want to do. Like, I know how to get that shit done too.
Yeah, we definitely gonna keep in touch. Yeah, we definitely gonna keep in touch.
Yeah, man, bro, please believe me, man. I'm serious about it. I know how to get this shit done. I put it together. I and even shout out to the connections I have. You know, I'm in Team Fame, so I gotta give love to that.
Right.
Like Burns is, man, my nigga's connected, so he helped. You know what I'm saying? This shit is definitely a network to know what's going on in it. So back to where I'm at on that note, yeah, man, I really came in showing love, and everybody on that tape, they really fucked with me based off the love. And even then, it kind of grew from there where most people was really just wanting to fuck with me.
Right.
And then as you kind of grow in, you still, I feel like one thing that happens in the game, if I'm a producer and you're a rapper and we watch each other, we both afraid to reach out. Cause you feel like if I reach out, that you damn near gotta charge me if your name pop up in these shits just like I do.
Right.
And then if I'm a producer that you hit up, you feel like I'm about to hit you with the price because you didn't see me and shit just like I pop, you know what I'm saying? Just vice versa. So I really feel like most people be just kind of apprehensive on reaching out.
Right.
I didn't even talk to certain people where they told me they thought I didn't wouldn't respond. I'm like, bro, I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a normal ass nigga.
Right.
I don't know what names and articles ever made anything look like nothing. I'm just trying to make it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I still feel like just based off name association, you know, they see since I came in, it's not a braggadocious thing before I say it like that, but they seen since I came in who I was working with, I feel like certain people be afraid to reach up to.
Right.
So even right now, I just not even say like that, bro. I'm not shit. I'm gonna say that myself. I'm trying to be the shit, and I'm not shit, bro. I'm just like anybody else, man. I'm normal, bro. Right. I'm just trying to make it, and I'm glad people fuck with it. I'm very humble. Right. But I think once again, I'm getting to is like I'm at a point where it's not about the money, bro. I'm looking for dope talent that's looking for dope talent. I like making beautiful music, and then when it comes down to even having a hustle and money on it, we can put that shit together. If you don't mind losing, I don't mind losing. Let's put money in together and see what we can make back. Right. It's not always about beating, charging, or feeling like you gotta make somebody pay. Now, if your weight and worth is like that, I get it. Because if you want a certain artist of a certain stature, yeah, you gotta respect their price. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What they look like just putting you on and you a producer and they don't fucking know you. They got a box full of shit. You know what I'm saying? And they got thought out the producers they can work with if they go out the way to put you on. And I still feel like that's the kind of character that come with the rap shit nowadays. Underground level, if you're not up there, they not. I mean, you damn got to pay for that slot for these rappers, and I get it. Like, I'm not even. There's no hate on it, but I know some of these big tapes, some of them big DJ tapes. Yeah, no shit. If you had the money to pay that nigga for that verse, man, yeah, you spend $5 on the tape and get back 7 or 8. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I know the verses ain't that expensive, and depending on what part of the lane you looking at, they affordable if you want to put them together and based off the heat they got. You know how to use the science of this shit. I see it all the time, and there's no shade to it. I just know where I'm at with it. I feel like money make people move faster, and you can't knock that. That's when shit come first. Even as a producer, you'll fuck around and be on the back burner because the rappers you work with moving for the money. You can't never hate that. I just know that I still get work done, and I'm patient with everybody I work with. I
Right.
ain't never pressing, shoving it down your face. Oh, bro, you sitting on a beast. It's taking you 3 months. What's going on? Bro, if we're going to talk, we're going to genuinely build and we're going to work from there and we'll see where it goes. Some of
Right.
the shit I got out, it took 2 years to get together. Even right now, I still got a couple projects. If I go into details, they taking a while, but by the time they come out, you're going to be like, what the fuck was y'all thinking? Yeah, it took a long time. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely a part of I appreciate the process and I'm not trying to rush none of it. It's all going to come in due time.
Right. So just from what you just said, I see you prefer to do whole projects with artists and then just do the splits.
Yeah, especially, I mean, even like here at this point, like I said, if there's going to be anything where I know that we can help each other, then there needs to be some type of even ground.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I still will say as a producer, I don't want to have my time wasted either. I still feel like certain people will hit you up, don't want to pay it, then they sit on the beats and they're not going to communicate, respond, tell you no action, see, work. That's different. Like it's two different ways to move.
Right.
So here's another thing. If you want to pay for the beats and do what you want to with it and don't want my say-so on it, then yeah, pay straight out. But I ain't gonna lie, at this point, I feel like at some point, even then, I'm still a part of the project. You know what I'm saying? Unless you just wanted to take them and do what you want to with them.
Right.
But like I said, the way I kind of work, bro, I'm real personal. You know what I'm saying? I don't put my beats on BeatStar. I don't even do shit like that. I want to know who I'm giving my music to.
Right. Right. Now,
do
you give stems, or most of your beats they 2-track them?
I can sit still pretty much. I mean, I can wave file with anything else, but when it comes down to any of the mixing shit they need, they just let me know what format it is. I know how to render, change, and all that shit. So once I make it, you let me know how you need it, and I'm gonna put it that way.
Right. So I know you're I can hear the passion in your voice about this music. Who are you rocking with today as far as like other beat makers? Who are you listening to? Who do you like that's out right now doing their thing?
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie. For one, I gotta give credit to just music. Period. It's almost too many to name because I'm a fan of music. I really love this shit. Like I ain't gonna lie, just everything I've been hearing lately, what makes me go harder, what brought me back. But to even give credit to what I'm hearing today, gotta give shout out to people like Wavy the God, standouts. My man's Don Carrera. Oh my God, Don Carrera's a fool. That's my dude. Chuck Chan, fucking Timepiece tracks. Man, I gotta go back to think about Animals. Shit, he's still one of the legends with that shit. I love what him and Kai do. They come out when they want to, and that shit is gonna it's gonna shake the world every time. I love it.
Right.
And to go right back into the cool, so I love it. But I ain't gonna lie, and even when I come back to the new school, it's a lot of them, man. Like it's a lot of them. Evildoer. Shit, bro. I feel like I'm gonna probably forget some people. Jay Levinson. No, I gotta give it to Jay Levinson. Fucking the historian. I know he been a little man. That's the historian definitely.
Yeah.
It's a lot of them, bro. I can go on and on.
Yeah, and you named three of them I've already had on the check-in. I had Wavy the God, the historian, you know what I'm saying, evildoer,
Yeah.
So yeah,
right.
that's season 1. You know what I mean? When season 1 drops, you'll see all of them or whatever. The first episode drops July 4th. J.R. Swift's. You know what I mean?
Oh, word.
Yeah, he's the first.
Yeah, my guy. I'm glad you brought him. Shout out to J.R. Swift too. He's a beast. Hey, no, I definitely love him some J.R. Swift. V Don, you even got me thinking harder, bro. I might have missed people. Like I said, I'm a fan of this shit, bro. So I like a lot of this shit.
Are you familiar with Clipto?
Yeah. No, I know Clipto too. Shout out Stint, man. Yeah, no, it's crazy out here. That's one thing I can say as a producer. You have to hear if you keep up, you like, yeah, you gotta go hard, bro. It's a lot of good, a lot of good noise out here. That shit is beautiful, and I love it. It just makes me want to dig harder and go harder. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, what MCs are on your wish list that you would like to work with?
A wish list of MCs. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. I even start from the top of where I was always had the ambition of and never lost sight of. I always wanted to work with Currency. Like, even back when I never knew where music was, I never lost sight of Currency.
Yeah, he's dope.
Currency's been one of my biggest guys ever. It's like I've always wanted to work with him. I got so much shit. I feel like if he ever heard it, he would definitely fuck with it. But him, Don Kennedy, man, I hate to say it, but rest in peace to Nip. He was definitely one of the people I wanted to get to.
All
right. I hate to bring it up, but that shit like that is sting because I feel like I was gonna get somewhere, but man, damn, that was definitely one of my guys. Like I was hoping to ever get close to, at least just talk to, if not even getting to hear my beats.
Right.
But yeah, as far as like I'm reaching big when we talk about who I actually want to work with, even Freddie Gibbs, we both out of Indiana.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Willie the Kid. I've always been a big fan of his music.
Yeah,
oh my God, bro. I got a hell of a wish list. And then you can even go back into the God Fame, My Commie, West Side. Man, bro, I love the music, bro. Conway, they beef. But Benny the Butcher, come on, man. El Camino, everybody.
Right.
I would love to work with anybody that want to work. You know what I'm saying? Jay Worthy, all of them, man. I love to sing.
Right.
But even if you go back into kind of where I'm at now, I feel like it's definitely a tier thing. You know what I'm talking about. When within range, a few people I ain't really got a chance to work with yet that I'm really trying to tap in with. I still love to work with Sleep Sinatra. I still love to work with Sully Nomad. He's really dope. Concept Jackson. I ain't gonna lie, Concept Jackson is still one of the ones, bro. I don't know if I can ever, but yeah, he one of them guys, man. I kind of got to hearing him, and yeah, the Mutant Academy had me listening. I'm like, yeah, shout out to that whole shit they did and they doing, you know, because still shout out to Fly Anic. I know they still moving. So, but yeah, it's a lot of MCs, bro. And even I go beyond that. Like, I'm not sure if you've heard of like Great Fox. This is a guy that's kind of coming up on the scene right now, bro. He's dope as hell.
What's his
so
name?
when it comes down to Great Fox.
Great Five, not familiar.
Oh my God, check him out, bro. And it's shit like that, man. I'm not even just reaching for like namesake. At this point, I'm really just looking for dope talent.
Gotcha.
So even when I can say who I want to work with, I'm really just open to work with anybody. If you dope and know how to fuck with this shit, we can make something make sense.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to work with. Somebody that's not gonna waste my time, to be honest.
Gotcha. Right.
But you know, really, but like I said, I got aspirations, I got dreams too. But just so anybody listening, other musicians, whatever, bro, hit me up. Check the page out, see if you like any of that shit. And if you do, hit me up. Let's start a conversation. Let's get something going. At this point, bro, it's time to move. Like I don't want to keep sitting on this shit.
Right. So, last question before I let you check up out of here. Give some advice to up and coming beat makers who are trying to do the same thing. What advice would you give them?
Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it.
Right.
Be yourself. And really try not to just conform. Because I still feel like a lot of this shit, people come in and they think they got to be something. Be you. Like come in, be you, and do you. And that's how you really genuinely build with people that fuck around and fuck with you for you being you. I don't know how else to say it, but be yourself. Like, cause I really still feel like a lot of this shit come with, you know, seem like they just kind of portray a role or try to make it look like something. Nah, man, be who you are. Don't ever try to make it look like something it ain't, because somebody fuck around and find out it ain't that. They, you know what I'm saying, depending on what you're talking about.
Right.
And that's not even just saying nothing else, but you know, man, for anybody that you trying to do this shit, you can do it. And don't even let nothing limit yourself. Like, use what you got and go for it. If anything I can say right now, I started with Fruity Loops and just hoping motherfuckers will look at it. I crossed the eyes off a Ghostbuster logo and look where I'm at. I done turned my shit into my own logo, and I still rep the shit because it was never to bite the seed. It inspired me, you know what I'm saying? I took something I love, combined it with something I love doing, and here we are. It's Ghost Rap.
Right.
Make it your own.
That's right. This is strictly for my diggers. You know, we put the beat maker first. You know what I'm saying? So now people can definitely match your face with the name. You know,
yeah, make sure y'all get a little light on it because I'm down here in the little zone.
I mean, they can see your
me,
face.
Yeah.
So, you know, next thing you know, when this come out, people running up on you like, yo, that fire, yo, that album's fire, because now they know who you are. You know what I mean? So this platform is all about us, because, you know, as producers, we get the shitty end of the stick a lot of times.
Hey, man, yeah, you're right. But at the same time, I'm trying not to complain, bro. We here.
Absolutely,
so
we here.
If you got love for it, just got to stick with it, man. It's going to get you somewhere. Depending on where your heart at.
Word up. So anyway, yo, thanks a lot for being on the check-in. I'm so happy you were able to make it on and chop it up with me. You dropped a lot of jewels and gave a lot of knowledge, man. I see the passion, and I want to hear more.
All right, man. I really appreciate you, bro. I really can't thank you enough for even fucking with me on this shit. Once again, anybody that's tuning in for this, thank you. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you care makes me care more. I'm going to keep going hard for everybody that's listening.
All right, that's what's up. Peace, my brother.
All right, peace, bro.
Tell you now, I ain't no holy individual, but I am righteous. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna steal from you, I'm not gonna cheat you. I'm gonna tell you the truth, whether you like it or not.